Hello, greetings. Just waiting for
I'm Carly Kloss.
whoa. I'm not sure if you heard that or not, but I usually gotta turn off my audio. Right. All right, I think I'm still on. Okay. Greetings, everyone. Not sure nobody's in the chat yet. I didn't make. Well, it's always around evening time. Blessings. Thank you for joining us on tonight's connection. Went to see Transformers 5. Still getting my feet back together. You know, man, my feet are still hurting from yesterday. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. It was going to be I didn't realize it was going to be such a. I mean, I knew it was going to be hot. I've been there when it's been hot, but not when it's like hot. Jeez. That's all right. Because at Universal, it was all right. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I mean, it was hot, but it was all right. But now it was an adventure. Welcome to the oven. So anyway, so that's the way it goes. So enough about that. So I went to see Transformers 5, and yeah, you know, there was a lot of messages in there, and I wasn't really looking for anything. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch this and see what happens, see if I pick up anything. I wasn't really looking for anything in particular. I'll go into a little bit more as we go down the rabbit hole. But I'll tell you this. I didn't put an image of him up. I'll put an image up. I have something up already, but I forgot about this. Megatron is the bad guy. They all look the same, so whatever. The cartoon was great. I grew up on the cartoon. That was great. What they're doing with these movies, I don't know what they're doing. So yeah, they got their spin going, that's for sure. They have their artistic, touch going on. Yeah, we see that. But with Megatron. Greetings everyone. Oh, Bob. Oh yeah, with Transformers. Yeah, it wasn't great. It does have a lot of messages in it. I give it that. It's got them. So if you watch it for that, I kind of didn't take any of it really seriously. But as for Megatron, I'm not really paying attention to anything that's going on. That's a bad guy. Usually in the cartoon, he has a big gun on his arm, but this I'm not sure what's going on. But I saw like a reptilian presence when I saw him. It just came out of nowhere. Like, okay, so I guess you can say it's reptilian agendas, basically. So there's a lot of mixed stuff. There's a lot of a layer there that we're not really seeing. Also, I'll go into the images also as we go into this. But if you see the image of again, I'll bring up the images and I'll bring it up again. The art, if you're familiar with the Archons, I'm getting an Archon Anunnaki feeling from a lot of this stuff. Of course, the Transformers in general, I still feel they came from Andromeda. So there is something in Andromeda where all that does exist in some form. So definitely. I'm not sure if they came from another universe. I'm not sure about that. But definitely came from another galaxy for sure. Are they here? Probably. I mean, they're here in our movies, so they're here somehow. I don't know where that goes. But they're definitely part, obviously we grew up with that. So, but what was interesting, which is interesting because they had in the film about this science guy right at the end, we can solve this with science. They had this big, I don't know what it was. I didn't pay attention that much. Just some big planet's going to eat us up and terraform our world. I'll tell you what's new. And there must be some more to that. Obviously, because they're always the same. These films have all the same old stuff. It's always the same. Somebody's here to destroy the planet. You need to find this stick or this, whatever it is, and it's going to save us. It's the stupidest crap ever. It's like, but it works. I mean, these movies make a lot of money, but I imagine they make money no matter what you do, and why not get more creative, whatever. So whatever. But as for yeah, it felt like it was a Archon, like the robots or Archons are very robotic. At least this version we're getting seems to be very Archonish. So, but what was interesting is there's a science guy that was wanted to stop the bad guys with science, and none of it was working. So instead, they had a reference of like, we're just gonna go into fairies and goblins and stuff and use that to solve this problem. I thought that was kind of interesting, you know. But yes, obviously, all of this, it's kind of a reference of what's here. A lot of these movies are just, they claim they're fantasy, but in truth, it's just knocking on our doors, letting us know what's going on. As for this whole thing of trying to destroy the planet, I mean, in higher dimensions, there are things probably similar. No, I wouldn't say similar to that, but like the whole Transformers thing. Well, then again, you never know. I'm not sure if I want to connect to something like that. I wouldn't doubt it, actually. So all these films have a reason. They have a message, even if they're total crap. It doesn't matter. They have messages within them. So if you just like The Mummy, I didn't see The Mummy, but I might see Wonder Woman, maybe The Mummy. If The Mummy's still out, I might go see that, see what that's about. There's a lot of hidden messages and all this stuff. It could be garbage. They're giving us this garbage because there's stuff within it. And with Transformers, yeah, a lot of it didn't make a bit of sense. But that's why, I mean, it's, for humanity has a choice. Of course, they're looking at this stuff as fiction. It's like if you're going to write about fairies and angels and aliens, usually they mark that stuff, well, spiritualism or fiction. But why don't you write nonfiction for that? And anything you write that is about our world as fiction, what they classify as nonfiction here should be mostly fiction because it's just, people eventually realize it. Like I said, a lot of fear is keeping people from seeing. That's kind of. We're in the early stages of it. I imagine more people will become more understanding of what's going on. It just takes time to digest it all. It takes a while to get used to it. But these movies have a purpose. There's stuff there. That's why some of them are successful. There's a reason for them their success and the failures have. There's meanings behind all of it. As for Transformer crap, it feels like it's a lot of fourth dimensional activities going on with the Archons, from what I'm feeling. So take that where you want to take it. Yeah, Archons can be good or bad. I don't think or neutral for that matter. So it seems like more of it's an Archon type of deal. At least the story that's being projected. At least that's my feeling on it. I don't know. Maybe not. Not many people might not fully agree with that, but there is an Archon agenda here for sure, and a lot of that will be exposed over time when it's needed. Also, oh yeah, Johnny Depp said something about. I was going to post the article, but I guess I got it. Johnny Depp said something about the president being assassinated by an actor. About Lincoln. Jeez, God, man, he just really wants to throw his career out the window, doesn't it? I guess Pirates did okay. Even Pirates, I imagine, has a lot. I can't watch all this stuff. There's only so much that I can digest. With Transformers, felt like because it was an alien type of agenda. Felt like what was interesting is the world became a post-apocalyptic in some cases. I don't know if fully, but that's just. That won't happen when we connect to aliens, but there is we're kind of going through it now, our own post-apocalyptic points of view right now, as we're doing the same old cycle over and over. A new cycle is opening. It's within, and how many people look there? They're looking out there, look in the sky and stuff like that. So, not many people are looking within. Not really. They don't do that on Coast to Coast. They might probably have. I imagine they have so many shows. I imagine they talk about that somewhere, but it's not exactly the root of their show. Coast to Coast AM. They talk about aliens on it. They don't really go into that type of thing. It'd be interesting if they start doing that. Also, I mentioned in the title of a book, I might start writing a book of my discoveries of mostly channeled messages. I'm not sure when I'll have time. I guess I'll find a way. Yes, I guess so. I guess now it's time. So some find it easier to digest a lot of this in book form. So it'll be a spiritual book, of course, a nonfiction one. Some might call it fiction because it's a little bit insane, but that's tough. Oh yeah, my alien theme park. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Why do you think I go to this theme park? Just for the hell of it? Yeah, my alien theme park. I'm gonna start working on that. Yeah, yeah. Donations will help now. Well, never know. Maybe who knows? I've been thinking about this for a while. Before I got involved with all this, I worked on fiction, like alien type of cartoon animated stuff. And one of them was one of the characters actually had his own theme park, but it was in the desert though, in the middle of nowhere. So it was an alien theme park too. So I guess I got indications to start at least putting ideas together for it. It's not something that's going to happen right away. Not at all. It's expensive. But I was looking at SeaWorld. It's like, that's not going to last very long. So Orlando would be a good place for it. Of course, you have to have something to attract people. Like Disney has all their, whatever that is, to attract people. And Universal has, Transformers and whatever else to attract people. So I'm not sure if aliens are going to attract anybody, probably scare everybody. But, like I said, well, at least right now, that time might change. That's something you would make a lot of money off of, that's for sure. But sure, it would be awesome, though. But you never know. I'll have theme rides. I'll have rides. I'll have a Zeta Gray area and a feline Lyran area, and maybe the creation of humanity area. So, I don't know. If somebody steals the idea, fine. That sounds good. I thought about Alien Cafe, too. That's weird. Another weird thing. Years before I started doing this, about 10 years, maybe longer, I thought about aliens also, but of course I've been at Alien Cafe. And of course, having funding to do that's another story. So all this stuff's been creeping around me. I didn't really connect to it until I started doing this. So anyway, figured I should. But yeah, for the book, I don't know. I don't know. It'll be about everything, history about myself a little bit more. Go into self healings, things of that sort. At least what's coming through my channel. Not my YouTube channel, my channel from the alien people and the guys and things of that sort. It takes time for self healing. It's like you need a cookbook to how to heal yourself, like a book of how to. Of course, they have that already, and there are different levels of it. And then there's the weird book where where it's just like fairies, aliens, all exist. Transformers exist somewhere. Everything, cartoons, Mickey Mouse is somewhere. And everybody's going to call you insane. But yet they're fully digested into this stuff as if it is real. But yet they'll call you crazy if they tell you it's actually real. So figure that out. We're in a prison society, as you're aware. But people are happy with that. Of course, that's what's been fed to us. Well, I believe we're opening up the cage every little by little. Takes time. But like David Icke's stuff, it only goes so far. Set you free to know that there's a reptilian group that wants to drink your blood and stuff like that. That's great and everything. But I'm not sure how far it really goes. Not very far. Doesn't seem like it. Does it go to self-healing? connected to your guides. I doubt it. I remember somebody I know bought one of his books. It was all negative. I forgot what book it was, but it was super negative. So anyway, I think if it wasn't for David Icke, I wouldn't be here right now. If it wasn't for Alex Jones, I would not be here right now. So it all helps. Even if it only helps you to a certain extent, it still helps. Even Jones, no matter what, crying about whatever it is he's crying about this week, it cracks open the shell for you to look at things differently, even if it's fear mongering all over the place. So it's just the way it goes. So anyway, yeah, for this channel, yeah, this stuff that comes through here is a little bit more off the cuff, of course, not your average. It's not your average conspiracy theory or whatever you want to call it. Far from it. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a list here of. I forgot about this. Very important. I've sent this list, and when I forget about going into these details. I don't know if I mentioned it about. If I have time to look of how to channel. But also, there are some, you could say, rules, and this is kind of this is interesting of this list here. But always, this is for channeling, or just when you're connecting to somebody to help them with messages and things of that sort. Is always ask for permission, which yes. But when you have somebody you're doing, sometimes I ask for permission, depending on what kind of connection I'm doing. But usually it's an even exchange when they're coming online to talk to you. It's pretty much that. But usually if you're going to talk to somebody that connect to your energy or something like that, usually it's a good idea. Then just connecting to them, you don't care what. That's not a good idea. Yeah, it's always good. It's always good to ask for permission all the time. If you have a message or always, and if you have a message for them, it's always to get their permission to give them that message, and just to blab it all out. So, and it's not good to connect to people's energy and receive messages. I mean, it's one thing if guides come to you, but usually that is not the case. If they're doing that or something, probably not right. But anyway, so asking permission, you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth, no matter who you channel. And have a fair exchange of energy. And close yourself down when finished, or you will get shut down by the guides. Yeah, I get shut down all the time. I mean, I open up and then I close down. I open up just enough for the questions, and then I close down immediately. So I'm not around. Another thing, some people that are empathic, because everybody's empathic, but some people don't know how to shut down at all. They're always open. And so when you go into big crowds, you can connect to everybody's energy, and you got to find some way to shut down. Some don't have that. I don't know why, because I can go to a big crowd and not be bothered at all, because I close down. But I'm not always scanning and everything. Sometimes, mostly for aliens or angels or beings or whatever it might be. But usually I just keep closed down and just live the 3D reality. But some are super open. It's not healthy for that, especially. Yeah, I knew somebody that was a massage therapist, and she just sucked in all of the person's issues, and she couldn't even concentrate. So you can't do that. You got to really ground yourself. Basically, just a grounding. Ground your energies. Ask for the angels to assist with your grounding. Close yourself down. There are ways. I have a mentor that read everybody all the time. Was on 24 hours. And it got on some people's nerves by doing that too. So, some don't do that because they don't want to look within. They have issues seeing themselves. So, that's the way it goes. So, all right. Before we fully get started, I'll open up if anybody has a message. They've been kind of easy on me recently, so not, running me dry. So, so for those that are new to all this, we're going to go into a little bit of an introduction, as I always do in the beginning portion. Let's set up again. Oh, wonder. Okay, this is ivanteller.com. You can find out information about me. There's a about page, donate page, contact page. You can join the webinar. Just go to the main page and join the webinar. And you'll be given a page to get to the main portal and be able to ask questions. There's also a private session, and you can see the calendars. I'm pretty open this week. We also have gift cards also. And also we have aliens and spirits to channel. Of course, I guess I didn't activate that. Well, anyway, crap. All right, well, next time. But yeah, usually people that connect to their spirit guides or angels or an alien being, whatever is up to you. You can always submit a question for $5, and you receive an audio file. And also, you can find out what's going on. You can always get the YouTube videos and everything through iPhone and Android. Just type Ivan Teller. We also have Spirit Social. If some people would prefer this, as for submitting a question, we also receive a healing, past life regression, message from Yeshua, channeling, consulting, 5-minute healing. From my services, you can also do spiritual connections with one question from a day chakra and healing, Stephanie, and a soul painting from Stephanie, and also Reiki from Miguel. And oh yeah, that's right. I still haven't made changes on this site. I forgot. Also, we have the social network here. And I posted a couple of things. Well, the Men in Black. Some are saying the whole UFO thing is all made up, and it's the government behind it, whatever. And this one's David Greer's. He has something new going on. As for a new Cosmic Expo UFO Symposium. Anyway, I didn't really go into much of that. And they have some a UFO sighting. So basically, there's a movie out, a documentary. I'm not sure if it's going anywhere, about how the government pretty much made up the whole UFO thing. So why would you even waste your time doing that? No, there's too much stuff going on. So yeah, you can find the links down below, hopefully. And also you have a social network if you want to post there. I don't go to Facebook very often as much as I should be, so I even had to close down the timeline because people are posting too many stuff about other people's stuff. And it's my page, so I should be able to post whatever I want, but I don't go there very often, so as much as I should, but I don't because I don't like Facebook that much. So yeah, I don't have a good feeling about it. It's AI, and it just feels very uncomfortable. And I understand why people avoid social networks altogether. I'm only on Facebook because I need to be, but yeah, it's just doesn't make me feel good at all. Yeah, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. So, because I feel the agenda is going on that are behind the scenes, and yes, I believe MIB is plugged into it. If you're wondering, and NSA, of course, but there's other things other than the NSA, but I just don't like that stuff altogether. So, okay, what do we have for the world today? As for, oh yeah, Transformers, will go into that a little bit. Is also something else I want to go into. Let me look into that 1 second. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, I have a surprise here. I wasn't, well, I'm not sure if it's a surprise anybody really wants to hear. As for channel connection, okay, maybe tomorrow. And yeah, it's called Gee, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name right. Alan Weishaupt, it's the founder, I believe, of the Illuminati. Yep, according to Wikipedia. I know that's a source of info that is definitely genuine. So I was going to connect to his energies. So that's the secret channeling of today. I'll put it in the. I was going to put. I don't know. I might connect to him again tomorrow. We'll see if we get anything from him today. I'm not going to fully channel him. I'll just do conscious channeling. Yuck. I connect to his energy. It's not comfortable, so maybe we won't. Yeah, that's not feeling too good. Yeah, that's part of the dark Illuminati. That's for damn sure. At least that's what I'm getting. At least. Yeah, he's part of the dark cabal. No doubt about it. Yuck. Well, we'll see. As for another highlight, here's the Transformers. Why I say when there's a female Transformer, I forgot her name. The special effects are pretty cool. I give them that. Like I said, I didn't pay attention to what was going on because it kind of loses you after a while. This is one of the knights that's in it. But when I say, Prime went bad for like 5 minutes. I mean, it was so stupid. It has in the trailer it's like the whole Batman and Superman thing. The fight only happened for like 2 minutes. It was a joke. Yeah, it's really. I'm surprised they went that route. So, but let's see. Well, this is. I mean, the metal. Let's go back to the girl. Oh, there you go. That's a good one. But it just feels like this is very Archonish. Archon energies. There's a lot of hidden stuff. She also looks slightly reptilian-like. So there's a lot there that is. She looks like a cobra in some regard, like a female Naga in some ways. So yeah, this is where I'm feeling a lot of this. This is Megatron. Yeah, great artwork there. That's where I saw the reptilian. Let's see, Megatron. Yeah, that was in there for like 5 minutes. I think that's him. That's one thing about these movies. I don't know who's who. You have to look it up later. I think it's the old version of him. But anyway, I felt like a reptilian energy. So it's like the soul of the reptilians are kind of going through that character. But the movie is still pretty bad. But it does seem like it's like hiding what's going on. Especially the Transformers are supposed to be secretive, sort of. So, and that's what's going on with reptilians. They're keeping themselves secretive. For now. I believe a lot of that stuff will start coming out more. But you have to open up. You have to open up to yourself for it to happen, though. So I have enough of looking at that. So it feels like because you had a character of Megatron doing whatever he was doing, and I felt like reptilian energies there. It's like, okay, there you go. So after that, I kind of opened up to what was going on. So that was kind of interesting. So for those that are new to all of this, I think we're all insane. That's fine. Basically, the reptilians and all aliens are in another dimension, a fourth dimensional energy. They have their own dimensions, it seems. At least that's what I'm picking up on. They're here. You just can't see them because we have to play our little rollout. We have to be human. We're here to learn our lessons. And they've been here forever. Yeah, they created us, basically. But we create stuff, too. We will. When we go to a higher dimension, we'll start. Of course, we create stuff here as for technology, whatever. A lot of the technology is given to us. A lot of it, I believe, is from the Greys. And I believe at least from my connections, the Greys gave us stuff that we weren't ready for. It's called the Industrial Revolution. Especially a lot of people died as they're trying to figure out things. So it's like, here's a bunch of technology, here's a bunch of ideas. How to use it's up to you. And we've gotten better over time of how to handle technologies. There's less lives lost. So I believe they gave us a little bit more than we could chew, but that was a done deal. It does feel like they gave us more than we were. They gave us a bunch of technology ideas without the manual. They did give us, downloads, and they found a way to give it to us. Of course, World War II also was another download, a major one. And yeah, the Nazis are here. This Project Paperclip, the Nazis are here to prevent our government, basically. World War II, they did win the war. I mean, the Germans won the war, but then again, America was really much involved with it also. So there are a lot of agendas there that were intertied. But yeah, people aren't ready for that. I mean, they're not going to be ready for that. Some are, but they have a lot of anger towards it. It's not to have anger at all. It's the idea is to find peace with what's going on. It's all part of the show. There's a lot to it that we're not going to fully connect with. There's so much there to get. It's all, a stage show. But, we're all characters in our own creation. We are our own Frankenstein. We are building ourselves up. We're improving ourselves. That's one way of looking at it. That's what I'm getting. That's one way of looking at it. So we are designing ourselves, to what we want it to. I mean, not Frankenstein in a bad way, but we're So anyway, it does feel like more people will start awakening to this over time. It does seem like it's going to go into film. It's going to go into television, because a lot of this stuff ran its cycle. I don't know. I mean, I grew up in the '80s. And you could see it had a lot of style, at least for entertainment. I don't know. It's been kind of just doesn't have the flair it used to. It doesn't have a flair. I don't know. Maybe some people maybe even just looking at it differently or whatever. But it doesn't seem like it has the flair as it used to. Of course, a lot of stuff I saw as a kid were kind of childish, such as the A-Team and stuff like that. It's like, geez, how did that ever get anywhere? Of course, you can't miss Chips. Chips can't beat that. But it does seem like we're coming out of a cycle. Of course, they've always been giving us messages that this is all just a show for us forever. Like Shakespeare said, all life is a stage. We didn't really fully understand it. From what I'm understanding, we'll just start getting downloads here and there when you're ready for it. The idea is to let down the ego. If you have a major ego and you're super arrogant and very angry at people, it's hard to connect. When you let all that stuff down and just siphon it out, you will be able to connect more. It's just everybody's different, of course. Some people are scared. And it just takes time for the soul to awaken to your higher self so you can see more of your future. It does seem like we're going into that direction. And those here that are awakened now are learning how to be teachers and how to send the message out to others, how to either write it down or make a video or something around those lines. But we are going to dawn of a new age, for sure. Ever heard of the psychic twins? Some people have heard of them. Not many. Not everybody has. Let's go back to the Terminator or whatever this is, psychic twins. I'll leave up. I don't know why I saw it. Psychic twins. This is when I first heard of. I don't really connect to their stuff because a lot of it's super negative because they predict the future and stuff like that, which is good. They do a lot. They predicted 9/11. They don't have any good pictures of themselves. Well, there we go. All right, that's the best we got. Just in case you haven't heard about them, might be of interest. These are the psychic twins. You can find them on Twitter, and they do predictions on Twitter. But a lot of the stuff they're predicting is super negative. But before 2012, I found them, and they said, what is 2012? The dawn of the new age, and that is what we're in. Connected to aliens. It's like some people said 2012 was like the end of the earth, and you were all going to go to hell, and blah, blah, blah. Now that happened. Our earth has ended a cycle, and our new cycle is remembering itself. Which is, yeah, I never knew I'd be in this. I never thought I'd ever be in this position ever. I connected to aliens kind of in 2011. ever so slightly, but I didn't connect to who or what or anything like that was a time. So in 2011 is when I became aware of my own abilities. Was until 2014 when I started to actually use them because I wasn't sure what I was doing. So I didn't know what I was doing. So nothing felt right. And when I started doing the channeling, it felt right. It felt go on YouTube. That felt right. Just do it. I have a job. Hopefully they don't find me doing this. There's a friend of mine there does UFOology, has YouTube on. Like I haven't popped up yet, as far as I know, but I might. So, so yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. Most likely, anyway. So anyway, as for where we're all going is more awareness of our world. And in Transformers, I was mentioning about fairies, and so it's got messages there. It's like you can't solve everything with science, and you solve it with spirituality. Basically, they didn't go into that direction, but that was basically the message within it. They didn't have the spirituality part in there because it's the Transformers movie, but it does have many messages into it. There is a fourth dimensional war that is going on. I'm not sure. I don't really connect to it that often. I don't think there's something going on. I believe it has a lot to do with awakening of certain individuals. Like they don't want certain people to awaken, so they have little struggles here and there, like the Transformers to some degree. The struggle between light and dark to awaken somebody. I believe in the fourth dimension there is something going on there with that. I don't see why not. And certain individuals that can be powerful when they awaken, because it'll take very, obviously the Illuminati fix here is very strong because nobody believes in their guides, their soul, or aliens. Fat matter. It was all done by design and very scary also. Even the Illuminati also, I feel like they were kind of like hesitant to do that because that was a little bit far in what they're used to doing. I believe from what I'm feeling, that a lot of the Atlanteans, the ancient ones, said go just do it. Like even the Illuminati, they don't, they go around, they rule rules, they do their thing, but never have they ever really pulled it. In some cases, they have. But this one's like one of the extremes, at least. From what I'm feeling, see how children are affected. I mean, obviously, through how hard it is to get into a world like this. There's different versions of. Anyway, this is one of the extremists. I'm not fully extreme, but how children are targeted here. I mean, it's like insane. It's just, but it's it's all part of the indoctrination into the third density environment. Which I mean, I've seen timelines where that is no longer the case, where you can have your kid and your kid is awakened to what is around you. Aliens, angels, spirits, fully awakened. So it's not that it's impossible. It's just getting there's another story. It just takes time to get to it. And basically, the manipulations have to unlock themselves. And it takes a while. So all this negativity, it all has to end its cycle. It all has to, like when people are ready, there's like a certain amount of people are ready to just let this stuff go. Like what, 1 million people to let go of stop chewing gum or something like that. Finally, gum will go out of style. You know what I mean? It's like things have to go out of style. They have to go out of cycles. They have to end their cycle. So it just has to. It's just that's the ascension. I mean, it just takes time to think. Wait a minute, I do have a soul. When I die, I go to the other side. And many that are awakened to the spiritual, not all, but many that are aware of their spiritual connections. When it's time for them to go, they easily go. Some might not so much. They still have skepticism, don't understand it, because sometimes you're hearing this stuff, you're not really connecting to your guides, but it is good to connect to your guides in some shape or form. And you give it time, it'll come through either through writing or some form. Also, your angels, if you connect to your angels easier, as long as you're connected to somebody, It's probably good. That way you can have a easier exit point. But also help you in your life. I believe your guys will come through eventually. If you have problems, just give it time. Mine kind of came in, yeah, kind of forcefully, but not fully detailed of what's going on. Because for a long time, I thought my aunt was my guide that died, that passed over. And it's like, no, they know each other. They're not, but they know each other. What did seem like it was her. So it wasn't truly her, but it did. Well, in times it probably was because she felt that she can help me. So it probably was her for a little bit, at least to communicate with me when I'm trying to understand all of this. So that's where so I guess she was there to a certain degree. Yeah. It's like, okay, if I can help, if Elvis can help, ask Elvis to help. There's always a way to connect to your guys. Doesn't mean you have to have a long conversation for 2 hours, but just to be aware that they're there and to chime in every once in a while. It's up to you. Some people have a conversation with their guides. That's however you want to go about that. Usually asking them questions if you have a message for me. Such as decisions you need to be making, that you're in a crossroads, things of that sort. Just like when I went to the Edison, I felt it was a strong indication to go. Of course, then my car blew up, but I guess I had a reason to get that over with. So I think it was a perfect day for that. So I got that taken care of. So it worked out. Saturday worked out just fine. So, or Sunday, whatever. It worked out fine. So, that's the way it goes. But I don't have to deal with it now. So everything has its purpose. But connecting your guides to personal matter, that's however you want to visualize them. You don't have to visualize them as anything. You visualize them as just energy. Different types of energy, or you can visualize them as an angelic energy of an angelic being. They don't have to look human either. They can look like an alien if you feel more comfortable with that also. Or somebody just crossed over. Whoever that you feel close to. It can be your grandfather, grandparent. It could be the Mona Lisa. Why not? As long as you know it's positive. Always surround yourself with light when you're connected to a being. Once you get used to the energy, you usually know it's fine. If you feel anything that's dark around you, and it's like, oh, maybe that's just me. It's not you. It's somebody that's there. It's not you. If you feel a dark energy around over here or behind you, that is a dark energy that has made its home with you. And to either ask for somebody for assistance or light a candle, do a meditation, visualize that darkness and visualize it going into light, being absorbed into light. You have that power to do that. If not, ask somebody for assistance. Because you should not feel any darkness around you at all. If you feel anything, is somebody attached to you. So I know sometimes I feel like that all the time. Well, some people feel like I don't feel like I have anything dark, but I do feel dark. Well, whatever. Well, contact somebody or do a meditation to clear it out. You take that stuff very seriously. It is part of your test, but you can also remove it. Also, it's a big deal. That's something they mention on your local news. And also with that, that's your local news going away eventually, because that stuff's just poison in the air. That's all it is, poison. They're paying them a good amount of money. It's just poison. Talking about bad stuff all the time. I mean, what is that? I mean, what is that? Jeez. To make a whole, it tells you there's an Archon. We have an Archon presence here. That's obvious. And when you start stepping out and seeing what they're doing, eventually they'll realize that it takes time, like cycles. It takes time to realize all your angels and aliens, everybody's here. Agartha has her doors open when we're ready to walk in. Okay, I'm going to go into Alan Weishaupt for a second. He's not doing too good from what I'm feeling. I'll probably do a more in-depth video tomorrow So I want to put it in the title so people can see it. So I might be recycling some of this for tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not going to connect to them because I'm not feeling. As for channeling them, like channel, no, I'm not doing that because I feel like I'm possessed by it. It's not a friendly energy at all, but it's almost like Fidel Castro times 1,000. It's worse. As for Fidel Castro, kind of crossover. Still bitterness towards some people. I feel he's getting better, but still, he's going to be in between worlds for a while. If you're wondering. Yeah, it's not good right now. No, I'm not feeling it right. So anyway, I understand. Yeah. Also, before we go into Wysop, however you pronounce his name, basically he's the founder of the Illuminati. So you look up founder of the Illuminati. I had to say when I connect to this guy, but just to let you know what I'm connecting to right now. And for those that don't feel any of this like channeling is real or anything, that's fine. They're not ready for it. It's easier to knock it down than to realize what's going on because they're not connected. Most people that are going to knock it down aren't connected to anything that's around them normally. They don't connect to their angels, their guides, and just say it's all a bunch of hooey or whatever it is because they're not entering into the person that is them. Most likely not. 90% of people who are 95 don't really do that. When you start doing that and releasing a lot of negativity, you become more open to everything that's around, such as the U.S. government. Yeah, they're going to deceive people as long as they can about this UFO thing. They don't want people connecting to them because they don't want them to hear their messages. They don't want you to believe in UFOs at all because they don't want you to hear their messages. Their message is about healing yourself. And they don't want you to know about that. They don't want you to know about your soul. They don't want you to channel them. They don't want anything to do with it. Now, with me channeling, I'm not worried about them messing with it because they realize people don't believe it because they got everybody under the hoax that it's not real. So they're okay with that. I believe for the most part, I'll be fine. For the most part, I'm not worried about them. I don't think they're going to. I don't see it. It's like, it's inner healings mostly. So I don't see them. Most people don't take me seriously anyway. So they're monitoring it, yes. They feel like it's red? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do. But they're staying quiet. So they have their reason behind it. As for what why is that? Yeah, it's part of the dark cabal. A lot of people are worshiping him right now. And they do sacrifices in his name, from what I'm feeling, to keep their power. I don't believe he was aware of what was fully going on. No. I mean, he knows the darker energy. They knew they were going to be the gods of the earth, basically. As for founder of the Illuminati Illuminati's already been around. Like the modern Illuminati, because the Illuminati's been around before then. So like it's more like the modern version of it, because it's already been active. So I just say it came out of nowhere. But then I don't believe he was fully aware of the reptilian. That might be. He knew something was going on. I mean, demons. I think he saw the reptilians as more demon people than rept. I'm getting kind of mixed messages there. He was aware of their presence, but didn't understand them. There are others that did, but did not show themselves. So when they found Illuminati, they're obviously connected to another source of it. Because there is another source that's not, well, like the one I'm connected to, and there's other levels of it that you don't see. And they're connected to another source that they weren't aware of. Like families, like the Forge family. Maybe that's not a good example, but anyway, or like the Kardashians, for example. You get a family that's outside of it, basically, and they want to join it, so they got to do all this stuff to be a part of it. So and then they become initiation, and somehow they interbreed, I guess, and then have the Illuminati kids, something like that. Do they get the genes and all that? I don't know how that works exactly. It might be the lower part of it, but they are part of it. So there's a lot of lower parts, of course. Of course, we get the CIA that is ultra Masonic. That's Masonic. It's like a Masonic lodge in your face, basically. Top Illuminati officials, definitely. Oh, that's what he's telling me. Oh yeah, top Illuminati of your FBI, yes. Not so much like the one that got kicked out, James, whatever. He wasn't really, I mean, like a stooge, kind of like a, not really part of the Illuminati. I mean, not really, kind of like just a worker, basically. It's like the board of directors, the ones that are running it, but not seen. Their name's not in the, sometimes, but not often. Like George Bush was part of the CIA. That was definitely a bonesman. That was, I think, he was a bonesman by record. He was just basically a stooge. But the ones running it are not going to be seen. Their names might be maybe mentioned, but normally not seen. Even that probably not mentioned. I don't know. They're not going into details of that stuff. Right? Yeah, okay, because there's a public version that's seen and a private version of the CIA is not. Okay, that makes sense. So there's a public version of the CIA that we see, which is very much Illuminati. There's a private version of the CIA that's where they operate. So their tentacles go into the public version and do all their bidding and drug trafficking or whatever it is. A lot of these drug dealers are created. Some of them are CIA operatives. Probably never find out. Is it Escobar? Pablo Escobar? This might guess a CIA operative from what I'm feeling. I'm not sure if he is or not, but publicly, but I think he is probably. I think he is. I'm not sure if that'd be public. I believe that's the CIA. Yeah, so I don't think that we don't make that stuff public usually. A lot of this CIA created. How do you think they get rich so fast? Of course, others get rich, but not as rich as the richest. So, anyway. So yeah, there's in a news organization. Geez, yeah, news CIA, Fox News, all that's CIA ran. FBI sort of CIA. It's more of a CIA operation. It is FBI. FBI is more just to police us and the government, sort of. You know, like the DA. I mean, if they anyway, it's not important. But yeah, it's basically just a crime. It's gangster. The whole thing, or the military is gangster. Makes you feel nice and safe, doesn't it? They do record all the broadcasts or whatever. They got tons of space for it. So they do look for keywords and things of that sort. It does seem like they do transcribe a lot of this stuff in their own super system. Not to say YouTube is doing it, but whatever's plugged into YouTube is doing it. And emails, they want to know everything. They get, and then they look for keywords. So they like using AI intelligence. And if you look up Facebook, there's AI intelligence written all over it. And everybody's working on AI intelligence. Well, okay, this thing is AI intelligence, but whatever. That's whatever. That's true. I don't go on Facebook because I have that thing here. But anyway, I don't know. It feels different for some reason. Facebook, I don't feel comfortable with at all. I don't know what it is. Just something about it. Just that I don't know why I'm comfortable. But then again, I don't really do anything here. I just come in here and do a video. It's all live. Everything I do in here is live. So I might lay down for a second because I'm freaking worn out. But that's about it. Here. Other than that, it was just a habit. Other than that, nothing goes on here. I mean, if they can record what's going on my camera, then they just get a nice view of the wall throughout the night. So, whatever. So, as for YSAP, this is interesting though. He's going to be getting more information than what's usually. See, the FBI is a farce. It's like a clown group, as you can tell through the media if you pay attention to any of that. It's like war operatives. Some of them do work at Area 51, but you'll never hear about that. Where do you think they get some of their workers? A lot of FBI do run background checks and stuff like that. Only people that work at Area 51. There is a shadow part of the FBI where they they can do all those things. There's also a shadow side of FBI that does do the MIB stuff. The MIB work is, yeah, we can see that. There's different types of MIB. There's different levels of it. There's human, and then they bring in the non-human. So, but the non-human, the ones dressed in black, but there's another version where they're just told to do certain things, like follow somebody where they're black. They don't always know what's going on. But just be intimidating. I don't think they give them full details of what they're doing exactly. Just know, like, watch this person intimidate this person. We'll give you more details later when you need it. Something around those lines. But they do watch people a lot. I might be one of them, probably. But then again, you have the extraterrestrial MIBs who are go into where they got no other choice. They send them in when they have no other choice. But they tried everything else. It's like, okay, we just bring them in. So, and of course, you get the intimidation and things of that sort. So, they don't just show up for the hell of it. That's why I don't see them around. They don't, and of course, you don't see the others around very often either. It does seem like a lot of them work at night. MIB can show up anytime though, but the ones that are the more human versions, they can work during the day and at night. But it seems like most of their work's done at night. But at least for movement. But the MIB in general, of course, they can work anytime. But it does seem like a lot of it is at night, depending on who it is, depending on what's going on. Yeah, so there's dark parts, like the Department of Justice, I believe. I think there was a sighting of MIB walking through the Department of Justice that's in Washington D.C. Like two guys in black walking. I mean, it's just very bizarre. And I saw a message on, it was on the internet, but I felt it. It felt very genuine. So anyway, of course, you're not going to get many messages like that. Also, this is coming from my own channelings. I do feel like there is a part of the Pentagon. It's not very known. I feel it's underground. That's where they do a lot of their alien connections. Also under the White House also. Might be in fourth dimension, but it is there. Something's there. Yeah, it's not something, you don't see aliens walking around the Pentagon. Most men in the Pentagon wouldn't know about it. It does seem like there's a part of it that's where they are, though. This is where your elite go to for whatever reason. So, for whatever reason, hide money. They do run money through the Pentagon to hide it, to wash it, money to launder money. Pentagon, but yeah, feel that. Just gangster all over, isn't it? Of course, good luck on proving any of this. You never know. That's why you connect to your energies, your guides, do a meditation on it, go by your intuition. Some people connect to this, some people won't. Just that's fine. It doesn't mean it's not right, but at least that's what I've been connected with the Pentagon. At least there's like it's like a fourth dimensional. This is something new. A fourth dimensional version of the Pentagon, where it's not just there's humans there and aliens and MIB all together. I believe that's where some of the shadow government stuff is done too. As for where that is, I'm not sure. It's mostly their meeting room. I'm seeing like a hall. It's white. It's fully lit. It's not dark. And I mean a hall. I mean like a room, like a round table of beings that are around, humans and all that. I can go on with that. So, yeah, let's put it this way: a four-dimensional Pentagon in Washington D.C. Yeah, I believe it's there. Not giving me the full indications of that. Expect the unbelievable. Let's see here. Interesting is mentioning John Wayne. If you know anything about him, he is a Western actor, an actor that was in Westerns in the 1950s and 20s. Like that was an Illuminati creation. You know, the tough guy. Another form of brainwashing. Yeah, duh, right? Give you an idea of the man, of the male. Yeah, and also if you, I forget, you look up how when women started smoking cigarettes, how some feminists showed up, just started smoking cigarettes in the, to brainwash everybody to get more females buying cigarettes. And they went to some parade and started being rebellious, and now we have, what we have. So, but John Wayne was the same way. Imagine if John Wayne started talking about aliens and all that, people would probably connect to that. If whatever he said, they would believe. So, Hollywood plays a big role into awakening. It is a great programmer. It has to be done in a way that is obviously done with style. I can see Bruce Willis talking about aliens and stuff in a cool way. Not, it has to be in a conspiracy way, but also in a way like where it's believable. Like he knows it's real, but most people aren't going to, like their everyday man. I can see someone about like him, having a film and helping, helping people awaken to what's going on. Basically talking about the conspiracy when it's actually all real. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, this is all why I stopped coming up with this stuff. This is interesting. Yeah, speaking about during the Reagan time about how schools are dumbing everybody down, that was all done by design. That is true. Also, the college kids also they leave that part out. Usually, when they're talking about dumbing down kids and your public education or doing colleges, also I think people are already aware of that because they experience it. You realize they're not really learning a whole lot, but you're giving a lot of money away. Even Harvard graduates are also very easy to brainwash. Also, of course, they think they're already smart, so they work on their egos to program them. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? God, this guy's full of stuff. Um, Probably it's pretty obvious to some people, but they're not always thinking about it. Mark Zuckerberg, jeez, I never think we're gonna go there. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. He was on. They saw what he was doing and they let him go. They let him do his thing. Right now, he's not fully under the Illuminati control, but they do have his spy control. So he allowed that to happen because they threatened him. He had no choice. So the FBI and all that plugged in. He had no choice. He had to sell out. I don't think he was wanting to do that. But it's like if you don't do this, we'll destroy you. Basically, it's from what I'm gathering. They would have found a way. Like MySpace went into a demise all on its own, but they would have did the same. This was all new to them in the beginning. They did plug into that. They did work into that. Facebook's under their control right now. Like when you keep your money, you want to keep your family, you want to keep all this stuff, do as we say. So yeah, starting by CIA from what I'm feeling, or somebody around the CIA. Maybe it wasn't the CIA, but it was somebody. It does feel like it was CIA. If it wasn't, I mean, it could have been, I don't know. Anything from the government. They already showed that from Yahoo. Yahoo has been threatened by, they give you a subpoena or something. You got to give us this information, or we're going to charge you, or something like that. You can look it up. So they have no choice. They have no choice to give up data. And even a lot of these companies are sort of making it public. Facebook isn't making a whole lot public, I don't think. So the whole thing is plugged into their system now. So whatever goes through Facebook goes through them. So, on a public, I don't think you can look this up. I don't think the news organizations are going to get into that. It'd be like a conspiracy theory. And if you do, I imagine you can. I'm not sure if you can get evidence on it. You might, but if you do, you might not have much of a career after that. So I'll be seen as crazy talking about this. It doesn't mean it's not real. I'm not sure if I'm getting his name right either. Adam. Okay. I don't know if I'm calling Alan or Al. For some reason I'm calling Adam. Adam. So Adam's been, I think I'm calling him Alan a couple of times. So anyway, Adam has been very, very helpful. He wants to clear his soul. He's done a lot of terrible things. Helping us out to know what's going on does help redeem himself. He has been through a lot of acts he's not proud of done to him, and also others. His name is right now being used for darkness. He wants to clear his name. So people do pray to him for the dark arts, for dark Illuminati energies to become more powerful. Jeez. Yeah. Done in closed doors, of course. It is mentioned ever so slightly. You have to be careful to mention his name. It's done round table groups. Basically, his teachings are still being used today, of course. Not mentioned very often in the public manner. Yeah, some dark stuff. I'm going to research him a little bit more after this. Interesting. He's mentioning Legos. Okay, that's something new. Legos is another form of mind control. Yeah, it helps you build things, but also it's kind of conforming you to this third density environment. That was a tough one to get through. 1 second. Because it does build, like, what is it called, a constructive mind. It helps you inventing and things of that sort. So it does. I forgot. There's like a certain word for it, but it is good for you. But there's a darker side to it. You'll mention it at a later date. It's a little bit confusing right now. Yeah, I don't think I'll understand whatever he has to say. Anything else? Thank you for that. That was fascinating. It's all very fast. NASA is a complete cover-up, obviously. There's a lot of reptilians running it right now. There are some Palladian groups that are involved in a positive way. There are also some tall blondes that are not there for a positive direction. It seems like the tall blondes, a lot of the negative ones, don't want the space program stuff to work out the way space people want to. They want them, like SpaceX and Bezos, to sell out. So basically, they'll have full control over it. It's like, we'll let you do what you want, but you have to sell out to us so we can, rule you, basically. I don't think that, like, taking contracts or something like that. Something they're very sneaky on doing things. Like I said, in the past, Boeing seems to be the one that's more of the Illuminati controlled. The other ones, not so much. Here and there, a little bit. Boeing's super Illuminati controlled. That's like full blown. The other ones, not so much. Yes, but not fully. So they have to fully sell out to fully achieve their goals. Hasn't happened. It has to be done on a contract. It hasn't happened yet. It's going to. I don't believe I don't believe they've been offered it yet. Sort of, but not really. So, yeah, it's like the Disneyland of the space. Yeah, there's different. Yeah, the dark side wants to take over, of course. Of course, they already have a secret space program. Another thing, there's an article about, I think it was a CIA. Yeah, big surprise, right? It said something about Edward Snowden doing these leaks, and everybody's all happy for him and everything. There's a lot of shadiness with that. I won't go into that right now. But I believe there will be a secret space program leaks. More of that one could increase. Maybe this year. Mostly next year, I'm feeling. Maybe this year. We'll see. Let's see. Anything else? Of course, there's a lot more going on in NASA than MECI. Of course, a lot of them already know about the alien agenda. Of course, your public, there's like another version of your NASA that you don't see or hear about. They know about it. But and when I say the secret space program, yeah, I can say that's plugged into it, for sure. But some of them above that are handling certain things. Not everybody's knowing what's going on. Some, but not all. Because these people have to be in public, they're sworn to secrecy, but I don't think all of them are fully aware. Such as people that work at Area 51, they're not always aware. Not everybody, only a certain amount are really knowing what's going on. So, all right, he left. All right, tomorrow I'll do another connection with him. That was pretty fascinating. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect. Sort of, like I said, I'll be channeling like that. So if there's a subject matter, I imagine he'll bring it up to me. or if I see something on the news or something, I'll go into more details. But he has here a slightly still. One more thing. Child sacrifice is a real thing. That will be changed in your future. More will come out publicly. A lot of the news people aren't going to mention it because of ratings. People don't want to hear about it. Well, I mean, like child trafficking, things of that sort. They don't mention it because they're covering it up. So, big surprise there, right? They're not going to mention that stuff at all. They're covering up. They're paid to cover it up. Or if you do, they won't publish the stories on it. They'll just destroy your career or something like that. It's not a conspiracy. Child sacrifice happens every single day. More numbers than you want to believe. Many are not willing to connect with that because they're terrified of it. There is a darkness. It is just it's the blood of a young one. It goes into the energy. It just gives them more. It's dark arts basically. It goes into the dark arts, sacrifice, Satanism. Yeah. Even in the music, the dark music also. All that seems to be, woven into that, unfortunately, to keep people at a low vibration. Some of those that are listening to at least metal music, not all, are under some kind of Illuminati control at this time. Of course, we all are, but that's a different kind. Archon, it's a different type of Illuminati, self-destruction type. Of course, there are different versions of it, but some, I don't know, it's like it's like another dose of it. There's different doses of mind control, obviously, whatever works for you. Let's see here. I guess he didn't go all the way. He didn't leave altogether. Interesting. A lot of those that grow up in the heavy metal, like Archon, like the Gothic stuff. Some of them enter that for redemption. They have done some things I probably shouldn't have done in other realities. So I'm here to sacrifice myself to a certain degree. You say to darkness, but also define light. It's like I'm coming here in darkness. I hope to leave here in light. It's like I feel like I've done some really bad things. So I'm putting this this robe around me, putting this dark shadow around myself to clear out a bunch of stuff and to redeem myself soul wise, just because the soul doesn't, it's not perfect. It's not a cry for help. No, it's just a different way of going about. It's souls that are used to being in darkness. And it's another way for them. It's like they come in this world wearing sunshine shirts and all that. It's not them. They got to go what feels right for them. What clothing style is just right for them. And when they're ready, they will let all that go, at least to a certain degree. Right now, they need it. Not to say all of them are bad. Some of them have been part of some stuff that probably wasn't very good. They could have been a victim also. A victim of some pretty bad stuff also. So they're going through a self-cleaning right now. But it does seem like the majority of them have done things they probably shouldn't have done. So, majority of it. About 90% of it. But that's they're just not proud of their actions, but that's all right. That's part of our, that's the way it goes. It's just part of the human clearing, basically. So, all right, we'll go into more details. That was pretty fascinating. It's different. All right, we'll call them in again tomorrow. I'll go into more details. This is like a preview of tomorrow. This is all about healing, self-healing. I know it doesn't sound like that to a certain degree, but it's discovering things about ourselves that we're not fully aware of. Some people like to not see this type of reality, but like hackers like Anonymous are aware of these people that do exist, the cabal energies. And there's a lot of questions about it. I was like, why is this here? Why is this happening? And if you're going in more of a spiritual direction, you might find their answers. So that's why I mentioned them, because a lot of them are battling the dark all the time online. I believe they are exposing a lot of pedophilia, which is great, and just clearing a lot. They actually see the Illuminati energies very much. So all this is about healing it. And there's also something about, well, I'm on the subject of uneasy stuff. There's also something on the online is the dark web, people being sacrificed on the webs. Like, oh, jeez. I imagine that stuff does exist. I don't think people are making that stuff up. Like murder on video. I think so. It's on the dark web. You have to have a password to get in, and it says too low bandwidth to do this, but these people got money. They know what they're doing. So I imagine they do rituals on the dark web all the time. Yeah, well, I'm working in New York City from what I'm feeling. They live in another place. In New York City seems to be yeah. What do you do at night? Yeah, go online and do stuff I probably shouldn't be doing. So anyway, like I said, a lot of this is it's spiritual healing, connecting to Adam Weishaupt is another way of growing up, basically. Souls that have been doing some stuff they probably shouldn't be doing, not judging them. It's all about finding healing here. Just finally, connecting some stuff here that's not exactly pleasant, but it does help know about what's in our environment here. Not to be afraid of it, not at all, just to understand it. Such as the programming is going into film, they all have messages for somebody. All of it. All of it. Dewey's Playhouse has a message. I don't talk too much about it. Anyway, all right. Blessings, everyone. Hopefully this is helpful. And good night, and see you tomorrow. Yep, did not work.